Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at a pretty radical shift in how we actually value and pay for human attention online. We're breaking down a really groundbreaking blockchain technology called rapid flow. For years, our whole digital economy has been built around these clunky subscriptions and super intrusive ads, mostly just because the financial infrastructure couldn't handle anything smaller. But what if the core unit of a live performance is just a single second? Shouldn't the unit of paying for it be exactly a second too?
Section 1. The 47-second stream.
To really wrap our heads around the massive problem rapid flow solves, we got to picture a real-world scenario. So, imagine a street musician in Chennai. She's incredibly talented, right? But she doesn't have a record deal, no high-end studio, no complicated platform contract, and definitely no multi-tiered subscription model for her fans. She literally just goes live straight from her phone, with nothing but a simple QR code sitting quietly right there in the corner of the frame. Now, put yourself in the shoes of someone just scrolling by. You see the stream, it catches your ear, and you think, hey, why not? And you scan that QR code. You watch, you enjoy it, and then you just leave. It's a totally frictionless experience. No one is forcing you to sign up for some monthly charge, you're not buying weird digital super chat tokens, and your attention isn't being scraped and sold as an ad impression to some data broker. You just settle up in USDC for the exact amount of time you tuned in, with zero annoying subscriptions or ads getting in the way.
Let's say you stayed for exactly 47 seconds. That was just long enough to catch the chorus of her song before you had to, get back to your day. You paid for exactly 47 seconds of entertainment, priced precisely by the second, and the whole transaction is complete and gone the literal instant you close the tab.
But man, this brings us to a massive dilemma. How do you actually pay for exactly 47 seconds of attention? It sounds like such a simple, logical idea, right? Well, here's the shocking truth. A transaction of exactly 47 seconds was structurally impossible just 18 months ago. And it absolutely wasn't because the concept was too hard to imagine. Creators have been begging for this kind of direct micro-exchange since the very early days of Patreon. So what was actually stopping them?
Section 2. The payment fee floor. The reason creators couldn't charge you for those 47 seconds had nothing to do with a lack of desire. It was because the legacy financial system fundamentally blocked it. The traditional payment rails we use every single day, they are simply not built from microscopic transactions. It all comes down to the fee floor. In the traditional financial world, every payment rail on Earth has a base processing fee. Usually, that's sitting around 30 cents. Now imagine the value of your 47-second watch time is only 15 cents. A standard 30-cent processing fee completely devours that 15-cent transaction alive. It makes the exchange economically impossible. And because of this massive barrier, the entire digital industry was forced to just build around that floor. That is exactly why we have subscriptions where you're stuck paying for a whole month just to watch a minute of content. It's why we have these ad-supported platforms that take a massive 30 to 50% cut, use algorithmic gatekeeping, and ultimately own the relationship with your audience. If you were a long-tail creator too small to clear that 30-cent hurdle, you basically got nothing at all.
But the landscape has officially changed. Rapid Flow exists today because it leverages a truly groundbreaking tool, Circle Gateway Nanopayments. This technology finally and completely removes that legacy financial barrier. We aren't just talking about, a slightly better or shinier subscription button here. We are talking about what becomes possible when the foundational floor of digital finance is entirely ripped away.
That fee floor has now plummeted to a staggering $0.0000001 cent. That is a fraction of a cent. And because of this, true per-second billing is finally economically viable. It is completely gas-free for the user, and it's verified in under a single second. The floor is just gone.
Section 3. The blockchain foundation. Let's move to this and see how this builds the whole system up.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it solves what developers call the onboarding paradox. To make a payment this small actually work in the real world, you absolutely need an incredibly specialized blockchain foundation underneath it. When the Rapid Flow team was evaluating different blockchains, they hit a massive roadblock. Usually, a viewer with USDC in their pocket still needs a second, entirely unrelated and highly volatile token just to pay the blockchain's gas fees. Try explaining that to a user who just scanned a QR code expecting to instantly tap and watch a street musician. It totally kills the experience. But ARC-L1 is a genuine hero in this story because it is the first Layer 1 blockchain where USDC is the native gas token. There's no second currency to acquire. This solves one of the absolute biggest headaches in Web3 and makes the blockchain technology entirely invisible to the user.
This allows for a beautifully frictionless user journey. You don't have to navigate complex crypto bridges. You don't have to submit a support ticket asking how to top up your secondary tokens. It's so simple. A user's session wallet gets funded with testnet USDC exactly once. After that, every subsequent action, signing the transaction, paying for the second, and settling on the blockchain, draws from that exact same balance. For a system whose entire premise relies on effortless scan-to-pay interactions, this isn't just a nice-to-have feature, it is literally the only way the technology actually survives contact with a real, everyday user.
And the mechanics behind this are a profound structural change to digital payments. Circle Gateway isn't just like a cheaper version of Stripe, it represents a major smart contract breakthrough. Buyers sign these microscopic smart contract authorizations known as offline EIP39s. Then, Circle batches thousands of these microscopic authorizations together and settles them in one single on-chain transaction. This means the per-payment marginal cost literally trends towards zero. We are talking about individual billing ticks of 2.5 cents per 5-second window, verified in under a second and batched and settled on the blockchain minutes later. It makes those microscopic numbers economically real on a distributed ledger, not just some marketing gimmick.
Section 4. AI agents with real authority.
Because once you unlock per-second billing on the blockchain, you run straight into a massive logistical nightmare. Think about it. A standard 10-minute live stream generates 120 separate billing windows. Literally no human being is going to sit there and click approve 120 times. That's why RapidFlow gives 2 AI agents actual, real economic authority to handle this, not just a basic chat window interface. So the crucial point is that on the payer's end, you have the budget guardian. It doesn't just politely suggest a spending limit. It flat-out refuses to sign the next authorization the instant the projected spend breaches your cap. It kills the session if the stream goes dark. If you have several tabs open, it actually decides which streams are worth your remaining budget. Then for the creator, they have the yield manager. It actively changes the live rate based on current audience demand, operating within bounds set by the creator. These are 2 autonomous AI agents negotiating pricing in real time. If the model didn't give them real authority with real financial consequences, the whole thing would just collapse.
And because this rail is entirely standardized, it unlocks something pretty incredible. 1 QR code, 2 audiences on the exact same rail. The endpoint that serves a human on their web browser is the exact same one that serves an unmodified automated client. This means an external AI agent, like say an automated bot doing clip curation for a media company using an unmodified M402 client, can access the stream, read the standard payment requirements, sign, pay, and receive a playback token with absolutely zero human involvement on either side.
Section 5. The new attention economy.
Because while the street busker in Chennai is a perfect example, the broader vision of RapidFlow extends way beyond that single use case. We are looking at a total recalibration of how value is exchanged online. Once that legacy fee floor is finally gone and the autonomous AI agent authority is real, per-second billing becomes the default unit for any live, continuous thing worth paying for. This opens up entirely new economic realities. It works for indie live streaming. It works for the thousands of long-tail small creators who are currently locked out of big platform deals and are frankly too impatient to wait for a Patreon tier to fill up. It means video on demand can actually be priced by the minute. It means API calls can be priced by the token. It completely monetizes attention wherever the value of our product and the duration of that product are exactly the same thing.
And the most vital takeaway about RapidFlow is this. It is completely real. This entire system actually runs on-chain. There is absolutely zero mocked data here. And this brilliantly illustrates that we are talking about real testnet USDC deposited into real session wallets via real on-chain transactions. We're looking at real EIP712 signatures verified against live facilitators and real settlement batches landing on the ARC L1 blockchain. The developers literally programmed their system to fail the build if it detected any simulated or seeded data. When an error happened, they found it by hitting real APIs, not by just pretending the system worked.
The creators of RapidFlow stated it perfectly in the source material. We didn't build a demo of what streaming payments could look like someday. We built the rail, funded it with real testnet USDC, and watched it settle on-chain. That's the pitch, not a concept, a receipt. The transaction hashes are live and can be verified on ArcScan right now. This blockchain technology isn't some distant future promise, it is a present reality.
Which leaves us with this final thought. The friction of digital payments has defined our media diet for an entire generation, locking us into endless subscriptions and ad models. But the floor has finally been removed. When human attention is finally priced fairly, frictionlessly, and precisely by the second, what will you create and what will you be willing to pay for? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.